This is the first president who has none of those values. Basically says whatever he thinks. And basically, as a result of that, I think people understand that this is not somebody who really respects the decency of other human beings. And that's just the way he is. It's unfortunate because, frankly, every president I knew that basic decency was a critical element of that individual's character. And that's
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Veteran Uncensored. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, of course, and help us out. It reaches many more people. But most importantly, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I do want to get your opinions. It's very important for me. That's why I created this channel, so we can interact and we can have a good conversation with them from a neutral, central perspective. I am a conservative, of course, but regardless, I am America first and what's best for America and what I think is best for America. But that's just my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comment section below on this particular case. Listen, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right down to it. And we're going to be interacting or reacting more or less to this video. And listen, Donald Trump just, I don't know. I mean, the digs and the attacks at Joe Kent, who's lost his wife, and quickly, you know, he mentions, oh, he remarried quickly. You know, those digs make no sense. Why are you doing that? And then on top of that, he's talking about Robert Mueller's death, and I'm just like, okay, you don't like him. Obviously, you might have something that you don't like, but he went against you. I understand that, but why would you have to do it? Why would you do all of that? You know, he should have handled it different. Let's see what he actually, Piers Morgan and, Leon Panetta had to say about this particular case.
You ran the CIA when he ran the FBI. You became, I think, pretty close as a double act, working often for the same purpose. When he died, President Trump posted on his Truth Social platform, Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. He can no longer hurt innocent people. Now, this is somebody who, aside from his work at the FBI, was a Vietnam veteran. He saved the life of a wounded colleague under enemy fire. The following year, he was shot through the thigh. He received a Bronze Star, a Purple Heart, and 2 Navy Commendation medals. For the President of the United States to describe somebody with that record serving his country as good, I'm glad he's dead. What did you think about that?
I thought it was disgraceful, what the president said.
Yep.
I know Bob Mueller. I knew him very well. We worked together when I was CIA director and he was FBI director, and we worked closely together. Bob Mueller was a patriot, and by every definition of the word. He was committed not only to serving this country as a Marine and serving bravely, but serving this country as FBI director. He was well respected by everyone who dealt with him. He was somebody totally committed to our system of justice. He was respected by people in the FBI and in the judicial system. Bob Mueller is going to go down in history as a real stalwart in protection of the laws of our country. That's not going to happen with this president, who basically avoids the rule of law every time he gets a chance.
You know, I've always had a problem with the way Donald Trump talks about people when they die. You know, I just think the basic good manners, just dictates, especially from the office of the president. I remember when Colin Powell died, when John McCain died, recently with Rob Reiner died, that sometimes he just blurts out what he may be thinking when the best thing may be to just say nothing at all. Do you feel that?
Look,
it's an understatement.
I've worked with a lot of presidents in the time that I've been around Washington. And every president I knew, whether I agreed or disagreed with their politics, had a basic human decency and a respect for other individuals, and just had good manners. to respect other people, whether they agreed or disagreed with them.
Mm.
This is the first president who has none of those values. Basically says whatever he thinks. And basically, as a result of that, I think people understand that this is not somebody who really respects the decency of other human beings. And that's just the way he is. It's unfortunate because, frankly, every president I knew that basic decency was a critical element of that individual's character. And that's missing from this president.
Yeah, and the problem is I see a lot of people who are sort of defending it on social media from the MAGA crowd. And my response to them would be, I remember how furious you all rightly were when people gloated when Charlie Kirk was murdered, for example.
That's right.
And I agreed. It was disgusting, some of the things I was seeing from the more woke liberal left in response to Charlie Kirk's murder. But you can't be enraged by that and then laugh when the President of the United States says this about Robert Mueller. I'm afraid that is just rank hypocrisy. And either way, the bottom line is, like you say, when people die, just basic dignity and grace should kick in, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I couldn't agree more, and it's just unfortunate that this situation went down. I mean, listen, one of the things that has made President Trump one of the greatest presidents of all time, in my opinion, he's still there. He's still there. We'll see how the Iran war goes. I mean, listen, I was deployed, I was sent on a year mission over there in South Korea when he was president, and we were there. And he went to Korea. He went to South Korea. He stepped in North Korea. He diffused the situation, right? And I loved him so much for that. And he was one of the few really presidents that gave us pay raises. I know everybody was talking about. I mean, listen, they weren't the greatest pay raises of all time, but they were pay raises nonetheless. And a lot of people, even that've been in the military before, like, hey, we don't get many of these. Sometimes it goes up with inflation and all that, but we don't get many of these from my superiors. And so I've always loved Donald Trump. I've always found some things to, be a little bit inflammatory, if you will. But one of the greatest things of Trump that made him really, popular as far as being a president is concerned was that he wasn't your normal politician. He wasn't the normal guy that would give you any, the same type of spill the whole time he was talking. He was different. He would be like any other guy, you know what I mean? A business guy, he would talk to you. He would make a deal. He would talk to you at your level, basically. He wasn't a regular president or regular politician that would just, give you that nonsensical speech or the speeches that we're used to, by politicians lying to us, etc. It wasn't that. It wasn't the case. But on the contrary, one of the things that don't help his case at all is when he goes at people that has passed away, obviously people that he doesn't agree with. And I understand that he doesn't like Bob Mueller, Robert Mueller. I get it. But you don't have to say this out loud. I mean, he's gone already. He's not listening to you. He's not caring about you. He's with his maker, whether up or down. He's facing the music. And I don't even know Rob Mueller. I mean, it's irrelevant. You have to have some type of decency and respect. You're the president of the United States of America, and I appreciate Trump not being the typical president or politician. I get it. But at some point, you still have to maintain a level of decorum. The basic, the basic of it all. It doesn't have to be always going 100% and being so. That's the main reason why he didn't get elected. And it was no such thing as a fraud, by the way. There was no election fraud that's nonsense. Well, that's nonsense. But the reason why he lost in that second election was because he talks too damn much. because he goes too hard and he doesn't get it. You know, like sometimes for PR reasons, just shut the hell up, man. Just shut up. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I really like Trump, and I think he's going to go down as one of the greatest presidents of all time. But sometimes you just got to shut up. And I know that he's probably not a guy that can be controlled. He's probably not a guy that you can tell, hey, do this, do that. I get it. But don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. But at some point, somebody around his inner circle, he's got to be approachable, right? A family member, something say like you're out of control. Like that wasn't good. You know what I mean? Or state an apology. When is the last time Trump has ever apologized for anything? It's not good either. It's not a good look. You know, he could say, look, I made a mistake. I had my personal feelings with that person. I was wrong, and I apologize. It's not the time or place, and I apologize to his family for that. They're never going to forgive you, and people are going to still going on and on about it, of course. But at least you're trying to make it right, or it looks that way, because nobody knows intentions, right? But all I'm saying is, just for the love of God, man, relax and focus on what matters. And at this point in time, what matters is getting us out of this war in Iran. That's it. So instead of tweet raging, just relax, and I guess just if you don't like somebody, just stop talking about it. And if you're in his inner circle, just stop sharing these news with him. You know what I mean? Just let him find out weeks later where maybe he's like, it's irrelevant to post about this no more. Listen, I'm just saying something. I'm scraping the barrel here, okay? And I get it. A lot of you will tell me you shouldn't condone it. I'm not condoning it, clearly. Or you shouldn't baby step around him. You should tell him you're wrong 100%. You should. And listen, I'm telling him he's wrong 100%. So I don't agree with this. And this is just hurting him right now and hurting him in the midterms. That's it. And at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, if this doesn't go well, maybe it's the right thing for him not to have so much power in the midterms, which is insane to think, because the left, the true left, which is all the way over there, is completely unhinged. So maybe I shouldn't even say that, right? But I just feel like common sense needs to prevail. And that's all I'm asking for. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. Uncensored opinions here. Hit that bell for notifications. And let me know. I want to read your comments. Let me know what you think. See you later.